Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Nintendo Love Affair. I'm your host, Mark Ball, and I'm with you here on this beautiful post-Christmas Saturday, bringing you some Nintendo joy. This is a very special episode for me because it is the first in which I am a proud owner of the Nintendo Wii U. Today, we'll talk about the games I have, including Shovel Knight, Ninja Gaiden 3, and the NES Remix Pack. We'll also be discussing this week's news from the world of Nintendo. As always, we would love to hear from you here at Nintendo Love Affair. Contact us on email at nintendoloveaffair@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter at NinLoveAffair. That's N-I-N Love Affair. Thank you for joining us today. Let's get on with the show. Today I'd like to share my opinion on the current state of the Wii U. I have to say I'm a little disappointed in the dialogue that is taking place across the game-related media. There's just so much negativity about what the Wii U is and what they are trying to accomplish with it. I know we're at the tail end of the system life, and I know that the future of the Wii U is bleak, with NX on the horizon. But I just can't help but draw some comparisons between the Wii U and the GameCube. Now, as far as I remember, when the GameCube came out, it was ridiculed because it didn't play DVDs. It had a weird-looking controller. It didn't get a lot of the third-party titles that you would have on the PlayStation 2 or the Xbox. All of these complaints are happening right now with the Wii U. People can't get over the controller and how it is being used. People can't get over that Wii U doesn't have access to all the same third-party titles. People don't understand why Nintendo doesn't do this or Nintendo doesn't do that with their system. And it's all the same arguments and negativity that was in existence during the GameCube era. And now what do we have? We have the mainstream gaming media looking back on the Nintendo GameCube and speaking fondly of it. Its games still run for $50. The system itself still costs $60 or $70 to buy it used. That's only a $30 or $40 decrease from its original value 14 years ago. I had so many games for that system, and I enjoyed it. But at the time, my friends were playing Halo. They were playing Final Fantasy on PlayStation 2. They were into their own world, and the GameCube was ridiculed. What's up with that giant green button? I hate those shoulder buttons. The graphics just don't look right. What's up with the little discs? Why didn't they let it play DVD? In the end, none of that mattered. A DVD player costs $10. Currently, a Blu-ray player, you can go pick up a Blu-ray player for $20. None of that stuff matters. What matters now, 10 years after the GameCube died, is that it's a system that plays great Nintendo games. Games you cannot find on any other console. Now I ask you, Nintendo lovers, to think about that. Because it is so easy to sit and berate the Wii U. But in the end, it's a system with a solid library of games, an interesting controller format, Plenty of options to choose from in order to play games. If you like the gamepad, play with it. If you like the nunchuck and Wiimote setup, use it. If you want the Wii Pro controller, use it. The Wii U is a nice, fun, enjoyable system that was mismarketed and tainted with the Wii name. But I believe 5 years from now, people are going to look back on the Wii U and say, huh, that was actually a pretty solid system. I think it's underappreciated now, just like the GameCube was underappreciated during its life cycle, but I think it will be appreciated far too late. People don't realize what they have till it's gone, and I think that is especially true with the Wii U. What about you, dear listener? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? Please contact us here at nintendoloveaffair@gmail.com or at ninloveaffair on Twitter, NIN loveaffair. We'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Let's get this discussion going. Moving on to our next segment, new Nintendo news you need to know. Our first story for the week, Nintendo reveals top-selling games. According to the Miiverse polls, Splatoon is the #1 most popular game on Wii U. Also, according to the results, for the 3DS, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask was the top vote. Being a 15-year-old game, this is proof in the pudding that Zelda Majora's Mask stands the test of time and is still enjoyable today. Incoming news from across the Atlantic, Super Mario RPG Legend of the Seven Stars has been announced to be coming out on the Wii U Virtual Console. No announcement has been made for North America, but this could be a hint at good things to come. In Amiibo news, Roy and Ryu Amiibos will launch on March 18th, 2016. With Roy and Ryu, the total number of Amiibos released or upcoming is at 91. The Roy and Ryu Amiibo box art is available online for you to look at. As a longtime Street Fighter fan, you can bet this guy will be getting his hands on the Ryu Amiibo. In Pokemon news, VentureBeat sat down with John Hanke and Mike Quigley, respectively the Chief Executive and Chief Marketing Officer of Pokemon Go developer Niantic. In this interview, those two revealed details about their upcoming Pokemon Go to be released on the mobile platform. A few interesting details were released in this interview, one of which was that there will in fact be gyms available for players to access in order to train their Pokemon. Also, do not worry about the availability of Pokemon. Their goal is for you to be able to find Pokemon, not necessarily rare ones, but their goal is in fact to make sure the player can find them with ease. To quote Hanke, "We've learned a lot on those fronts with Ingress. Even if you're in a small town, I grew up in a town of 1,000 people in Texas. We had that as a design goal. If we're going to build a game that works with location, it has to be fun for people anywhere to play, in small towns as well as San Francisco. If we designed something that only worked in San Francisco, it wouldn't be a real success. We wanted it to work globally." There you have it, folks. Confirmation that Pokemon will be available in your area. The costume lineup for Super Mario Maker continues to grow. In a post on the official Nintendo of Europe Twitter account, the company announced that a Captain Toad costume will be available via a new event course on December 25th. But it doesn't stop there. Players will also be able to get Birdo and Excitebike costumes through 2 new NES Remix event courses on December 31st. There's no word yet of when these character costumes will be reaching the States, so you'll need to stay tuned to Nintendo Love Affair to find out more. In NX news, rumors are rumbling around the internet stating that Nintendo may indeed show off their console behind closed doors at the Consumer Electronics Show in January. We know for a fact that Nintendo will debut information to the general public at E3, but if this is true, as some trusted sources around the internet may claim, then we may be getting leaked information this coming month. Stay tuned for more on that development. Last week, I wrote an editorial about what I would do if I were president. Obviously, Mr. Kimishima has heard my call, and he has responded to my fighting words. Well, thank you for your response, Kimishima. Without going directly into the letter, it describes how he acknowledges that the Amiibo are being underutilized, that the NX is going to be a brand new concept. It is going to be a departure from the Wii U and the 3DS. And he also acknowledged that Nintendo is in fact a brand that aims to put smiles on people's faces. And I really liked those choice of words because to me, in my entire life, Nintendo has been synonymous with video games and joy. And it's good to hear the leader of a company claiming the same. Nintendo needs to be synonymous with joy, with fun. And Kimishima acknowledges that they need to spread awareness of their IP, of their intellectual property. They have confirmed working with Universal Studios to develop a Nintendo theme park. You can see that with them moving out onto the mobile platform, they're hoping to kind of rein in new users. They want to honor the old diehard fan, but they also want to attract the new users, those who maybe owned a Wii but didn't move on to the Wii U, or those who have never played video games at all. They still want to earn their trust and bring them into the Nintendo fold. So I, for one, am very, very pleased with this letter from Mr. Kimishima. Hopefully it's not a lot of empty words. Hopefully this is coming from the heart, and he's not just making a strategic play for investors here to appease them and put them at ease. I guess, again, we will just have to see what comes down the pipe in 2016. What have we been playing here at Nintendo Love Affair? Well, yesterday, on Christmas Day, this guy unwrapped his brand new Wii U 32 gigabyte Splatoon and Super Smash Brothers bundle. I have put a handful of hours into Smash Brothers, getting my butt kicked, and I have been putting a lot of time into Super Mario Maker, playing some of the levels available online. And I gotta say, I am loving this system. Playing with other people. We already used a 3DS to play Smash Brothers. He used it as a controller. And I know one of the downsides to the system, or at least as people claim it to be, is the amount of controllers and peripherals you can use with this machine. You about need a crate in your living room to hold everything. But personally, I love that. I love having the options to play how I want to play. And the fact that I could sit there and play on my controller, on the Wii Pad, the touchpad, and my buddy could sit there and play with his 3DS as the controller, it's just phenomenal. It's something that Nintendo has been working towards for years, and I know the NX is going to be their next step, their next evolution in that. Um, but for now, I'm just going to enjoy this Wii U for everything that it is, and I've got a lot of games to dive into. I have not even started Ninja Gaiden or the NES Remix or Shovel Knight. I have not even touched Splatoon yet, so there's hours of fun waiting to be had. And I will bring my impressions and reviews of all of those games to you here, Nintendo lovers. Um, but for now, I will need to wrap up this episode, and I will be in touch with you all again next week, trying to get the show more on schedule. Look forward to Nintendo Love Affair to feature every Saturday morning, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And I will bring you the week's news, as well as game impressions, retrospectives, and conversations with fellow Nintendo fans. So thank you for listening. Again, if you would like to contact us, it's at nintendoloveaffair@gmail.com for any emails, or follow on Twitter for up-to-the-minute news, retweeting it as it comes to me. That's at Nin Love Affair, at NIN Love Affair. Well, that about does it. I hope you all had a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you all bring in the new year with joy and surrounded by friends and family. See you next week.